RealAgriculture.com's coverage of Agirtechnica 2023 in Hanover, Germany is brought to you by Optimum Glide, a new canola trait technology from Corteva Agriscience. Shaun Haney here with Real Agriculture at Agirtechnica 2023, brought to you by Optimum Glide, a new canola trait technology from Corteva Agriscience. Okay, I've said that a lot this week. Okay, right now we're at the DJI Agriculture booth, and we're joined right now by Toby. Toby, how's Agirtechnica going?
It's been really great so far. Pretty busy. A lot of people coming through, but that's what we want. It's been really good.
Yeah, a lot of excitement about drones in the future of agriculture. Now, depending on where you are in the world, drones they have the regulation for them to be used a lot more than in some areas. Like in Canada, we're waiting for a lot of regulatory environment to change. We're standing right now in front of a new drone that's just about to hit the market. Tell us about it.
So this is the Agras T50. It's been out in China for a while now, but like you said, it's pretty soon we'll be hitting the international markets. Yeah. It's our largest of the Agras series. It's got a high payload capacity. It can carry 40 liters of liquid payload or 50 kilograms of dry granules. What I mean is it can be either a spraying drone, or you can pop this out and it can be converted into a spreading drone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's the battery life? Like, how long can this thing run for?
Yeah. So, it's a very common question. It's around 12 to 15 minutes. But really, what happens is when you're actually using this in the field, you're going to finish spraying. You're going to empty that tank well before the battery is depleted. So, after you finish spraying, you'll come back to where base camp and then land. And then usually what our customers are doing is they're refilling the tank, and at the same time, they'll swap in a fresh battery, put the old battery into the charger, and then by the time the drone is back again from its most recent flight, it's ready to swap in the next battery. Yeah.
How many rotors on this? We got 8?
Exactly, it's 8. Yeah, it's got 4 arms, and it's got 2 sets of motors and propellers for each arm. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So what kind of crops are people using it in China on?
I mean, everything really. Corn, soybean, rice, orchards, all kinds of fruits and trees. It's everything. Yeah.
So what kind of advantages do you think this provides the farmer? When we do start to see this being a bit more common in North America, what are some of the advantages that you've seen in other areas?
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many advantages. A big one is flexibility. So with traditional crop protection methods, maybe tractors, they're not able to operate on fields if it's rained recently, it's kind of muddy, or it'll kind of compact the soil. The drones, they can fly over and are unaffected by like rainy weather, so they can really go whenever it's ready to go when you are. Flexibility is a big one. Precision is another big one. When you pair it with a multispectral mapping drone, you can create prescription maps and then really send that map to the drone, and then the drone will only apply chemical or operate over the crops that need the care. And so this helps reduce the environmental impact of the agrochemicals. It helps reduce the costs that are on the farmer. They're using less chemical overall. Also, they're using much less water, 16 liters per minute flow rate, and then in 1 hour, you can cover up to 20 hectares of farmland. Yeah.
So this rather large drone, you said 40 kilo capacity. How big can these units get into the future? Like, is DJI's plan to continue to expand the capacity a bit larger and larger, and is there a limit to that?
Yeah. So I can't really speak to our product roadmap and what's in plan from R&D. However, it really is the sky's the limit for how big these can get. That's as much as I can say. Yeah.
We have a little drone that we use in some shoots with a little camera. It's a DJI drone, much smaller than this one, but we're manually flying it. For a lot of the farmers that are using a drone of this size, they're not manually flying it, doing passes. It's programmed, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, manual operations is an option, and sometimes it's suitable. However, the automatic operations that these are capable of is really helpful. Essentially, all you have to do is on the remote controller or on your laptop, you can create a flight route and then set the parameters like how high you want the drone to fly, how much liquid per area you want to spray, and then you kind of take off with one click. The drone takes off from there and does the entire mission automatically. And this is really helpful because it's a lot less work while you're not like on the sticks flying the whole time. You can kind of just observe and make sure. And then also, it's much more precise. You're not going to miss any areas. You can be sure that you're covering everything that needs to be covered.
We've seen regulations on drones in North America be slow to change. And a lot of times people bring up the what could happen. You live in China. You've seen these used. A lot of those barriers that we hear about, have they actually been issues in China when farmers are using these kind of drones?
From my experience, what I've seen, there's really not any issues. The coolest thing is that when I see these around, it's still new to me. It's still cool to me. However, for average people, it's just like another thing. It's just another thing on the farm. It's not cool to them anymore. It's not new. So,
cool. Well, Toby, thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, and have a good one.